I've always wanted a deer or buffalo head in my house, but they cost thousands of pounds. So instead, I found this on the interweb, and I'm going to make one of these. This is the website. I'll put a link down for it below because I couldn't find the plans for it anywhere. So all the plans are on the website, and I printed them off, and this is A4 paper, and I thought, that's a bit small, isn't it? So I did the manly thing, and I scaled it up by 2, and now it's A3, and it's going to be mega. Taking a wee hooky through my sheet goods store here, and this piece I think should be enough for all of the bits. So let's pull her out. For this pile of parts, I can simply just cut out the pieces, stick them on the ply and cut them out, no problem. But I have another pile. This pile all needs to be used twice, and I wasn't thinking when I printed them, and I didn't print them as 2 sheets to stick them on. So this one it's nice and simple, so I can just cut it out, make a template and use it 2 or 3 times. But for pieces like this, I really don't want to template all these notches, so I need to come up with another way to do it. I have a bit of a contingency on the diagram drawing thing templates. The slots are 8mm, but the plywood I have is 6, so I've edited them with a different coloured marker, and I should be able to cut along and get the right thickness, but I need to make sure to make it thicker in the exact same place on every one of the templates. Now before I can sketch on any of the drawings, I need to give it a quick sand because I won't really get to it and it'll be easier now, but it needs to be a quick sand because the veneer is very thin. Now I've had a tactical idea of using all my templates on the not so nice side of the plywood, and that means that when I sand it to get all the pencil marks and all the glue and paper off, it will re-sand all of this, the bad stuff. So, makes sense, eh? So I've already worked out on the ply, if you can just about see in the light, where all the big bits are going to go. So I have 2 heads, the big shield bit and the antlers, and now I have to work out where to put all these bits. So I can just fit them in between all the lines, fill in the gaps, and just try and maximize the amount of plywood. So all the bits are laid out, and I have this much spare plywood, but I think that's pretty good. Looks pretty cluttered, but you can't see the shield there, the head here, the antlers there, and the other head here. Now I've got the fun job of sticking all of these templates down onto the ply. I used to use Pritt Stick, but I just started using regular wood glue, and it comes off real easy and it's cheap. I actually made a mistake. Goodness, I caught it just in time. So there were about 7 pieces, most annoyingly, the largest ones, all that were sitting over at the side, and I'd forgotten I'd set them there. So to be able to fit everything on this one sheet of ply, I had to take out the shield backboard, but that's okay because I can make that out of another type. It just might look a bit strange, but it'll be alright. Huzzah, they're all on. Now I can actually breathe without them all swooshing everywhere. It took a minute, but I managed to transfer all of these marks on to here. Oh yes, took a long time, but it was actually kind of enjoyable because it was all mathematical with right angles and parallel and perpendicularness. So I've got all the pieces stuck down and I'm ready to cut them out on the bandsaw. So I'll start with this corner piece. But the manoeuvrability's a bit rough. So instead, I'll roughly cut out the pieces with the jigsaw first. So all of the bits are cut, and now they just need trimmed. This is easy as, but just involves a lot of repetition.
So all of the pieces have been cut out. These are all the neck bits, antlers, head, side antlers and all, except from the two neck pieces, and they're going to hold everything together. But because there are so many slots on these, I want to cut the slots before I cut out the shape, just because I think if I cut out the shape, some of them might splinter and break. Now for pieces like this, cutting the groove would be very easy on the bandsaw because it's nice and short. But on pieces like this, where you've got big massive grooves that are 10 centimeters long, trying to get that straight in the bandsaw isn't easy. So I'm going to cut them on the table saw. So I've already cut out most of this piece, and if you might notice, or you probably can't with the angle, but I've got the blade up very high, even though I'm cutting through very thin ply, and this is because I'm doing a stop cut, and that, if I had the blade very high on the back, it would leave a really deep curve, but because I have it shallow, it leaves a small curve. I'm also cutting shy of the line so that I can come with the bandsaw and finish it off and leave it with a flat edge. Now I just need to do this stack. I've cut nearly all the slots in the two neck bits, and now there's some wee ones on these bits and at the top of the neck, and I'm just going to do those in the bandsaw. So before I can cut out the outline of this, I need to cut out the last few small grooves. All of the bits are now successfully cut out, and I just need to assemble them all. So I have all the pieces cut out, and I now have to sand each and every piece along all the cut lines, and that's going to take forever. So to inspire me to do this, I want to dry assemble it just with all the bits. Pretty easy. Just start with number 1 at the back and work my way up. It's like a giant Lego set, but I'm not going to show you that. This is just for me. I've got a bit of an issue. As you can see, there's the glue mark with paper around the whole edge where I put the glue. But if I take the sandpaper and sand away at it, it doesn't go away because it's glue. And the veneer on this ply is incredibly thin, so if I keep sanding, the veneer will disappear. So I've had to take a chisel, scrape off the glue on all of these bits. It's taken about 2 hours. This is the last one. Hallelujah. Now after scraping all the paper and glue off, I need to sand everything. I've got all the bits laid out ready to assemble, but the problem is these bits. I'm not sure what order they go in, because the bits of paper had numbering on them, but I ripped those off. And now I've kind of just guesstimated, but we'll see if it looks that bad. Now you can tell from the side here, it looks pretty good because it goes up and then down. Except here. See this one right here? I don't think that's right. Especially the way it is here. So I think I need to swap these two. So there we go, it's just looking good. Now, only problem is, how am I supposed to stick this to a wall? So I need to make a plate thing. In order to contrast the light tanny colour, I've got this here bit of dark ply. Doesn't look that dark, but it is. See? It's different. Might be able to see it ever so slightly, but there is a shield design. Now, I just need to cut it out. There we go. Shield bit all cut out. Now for more sanding. So I've marked out the positioning for the two notches. And I'm going to drill in at either end and then join the lines.
But it is very strong. There are 4 tiny wee screws which just pull the whole thing against the back.
And then I've got a piece of wire which is what's going to attach it to the wall. Now you're thinking, ugh, disgusting. But it's the best way around the problem, which you will see when I go to put it in place. So at the moment we have Mr. Joey Dunlop on the wall, but he's going to have to come down. So with Mr. Dunlop off the wall, you can see why I attached the wire. And there's that hook that sticks out quite a bit, so the wire will allow it to sit flush against the wall. Ooh, that's leaning forward more than I was hoping. Not good.
So I've done a quick fix out of this wee block. The problem was the pivot was just too low before, and this way I've moved it up to here.
Let's try this again. Oh, that's good. So from down under, the deer looks rather majestic, I must say. But it looks even better from above, and you can see that it still leans out from the wall a little bit, but it looks amazing.